see, focus. There we go. Hey everybody, this is Carl with Pave Chaser, and thanks for tuning into today's video. Today I'm going to do an overview of my SW-Motech EVO Engage tank bag. Comes with this slick little case. And I'm going to be installing this tank bag on my 2021 KTM Duke 890. And I'm in the process, for those of you who don't know, is in turning this Duke into a bit of a touring scrambler adventure bike. I'm going to do some long haul trips with it. Just recently did a video on the KTM Power Parts side cases. If that's something of interest, definitely check out that video. But today we're going to talk about the tank bag. Now, before I get into this tank bag, let me just start by saying I have had many tank bags in the past, and I had one here that I've used on many of my bikes, on Ninjas, Ducatis, and it worked really well. It was magnetic. The KTM Duke has a metal tank, of course, like all street bikes. However, it does have this plastic shrouding around the outside, and that's going to make it so that your magnets are not going to stick through. So in the case of this, some of the magnets do reach the top, but they don't stick on the bottom. That's problem number one. Problem number two, this bag is a bit bulky for this bike. One of the unique characteristics of the Duke, the tank really narrows down to a thin line here, leaving room for your legs to go. So most tank bags are going to jut out a little bit here, and that's going to look ugly in my opinion, but also it's going to, cause a problem where your knees are probably going to hit it. I went with the SW-Motech EVO Engage. There's one thing to keep in mind with the SW-Motech bags. There are two different lines. There's the EVO line and then there's the Pro line. They use different rings, and that brings me to my next point, that this bike is, or this tank bag rather, is connected to the bike via a tank ring. You need to make sure that you order the proper ring for your bike, and that basically looks like a horseshoe here. Just go to the SW-Motech site. It's going to tell you what the right part number is for your bike. I'll post the part number up there for the KTM Duke series. I believe it's the same one for the 790, 890. Anyways, this ring is going to attach right here to your gas cap, and then this bag will actually have a connector here that's going to connect right to the tank that way. Now, this bag is not the largest of tank bags because, again, I'm trying to balance function and fashion, if you would. So in other words, I don't want this bike to look like a pack mule on my trips. I want it to kind of look sleek and sporty and yet be functional as well. This tank bag is going to be large enough for everything I want to use it for. I'll show you some of the sizing once I get it installed. But one of the things you're going to really see is that how it really comes down to a nice point here. It really matches the bike really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install my tank ring. Once that tank ring is installed, this is the piece that gets put underneath the tank bag right here. And this is a little connector here. So this will be attached to the tank bag. You just snap that right on, and a little lever here, pull it, and that's how you can take it on and off. So you got no magnets, no straps anywhere in the bike. I think it's a really neat solution. One other thing I should mention is that on the KTMs, because the gas can opens up instead of opening down, this ring is going to be inverted. On a lot of other motorcycles, this ring is actually going to be on the top piece here, allowing you to pull the little release cord on the top part of it. KTMs, that won't work, so they've actually made it so that it goes this way. So your tank will open, but you're going to pull the cord open from the bottom. So we're going to take the two bolts on either side of this off. So now I'm going to make sure that the gas can still opens up, gas tank, and it does. And so the ring now is installed on the gas tank. 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, simple as that. On the bottom of this tank bag here, this part will actually go inside there. You can see that it becomes flush because there's an indent. This is where you pull the lever to release. like that. So pull the lever, up she goes. The next part is going to be a little bit more involved. And the reason for that is there's no actual holes in this tank bag, because depending on what bike you're putting this on, you may want to move it up and down. So for instance, you may want to slide it down further this way or up higher, depending on how you want it to work. So they did not pre-drill the holes to attach this connector on. What we're going to actually do is take this plate, which came with it, we're going to leave this installed on the tank ring right now, and we're going to put that on. We're going to essentially figure out where we want our tank bag to set. All right, so it doesn't hit anything on either side. I'm happy with where it is right there. So now I'm going to pull this off. I'm basically, just for safety's purposes, I'm going to mark inside here the top line, just so I know, in case this moves, where I should be drilling. Now I just simply remove this part, and I'm going to leave the templated part inside there. And this is where we're going to take a drill, and we're going to basically drill through right here so that we have the 4 connectors. Inside here, there's basically a Velcro flap that you can pull open, and that leaves you that black shiny piece in there, and that's what's going to put your bolts in to connect this bottom part there. This is going to be the scariest part of the hole install, where you're actually drilling through the bag. They recommend to put like a block of wood on the inside. I've got an old barn block here, so that way when I'm drilling through the bag, there's something solid for it to go to the other side. You can see here the 4 holes, here and here, here and here, drilled in its place. We'll pull this template out. So now that the 4 holes are drilled through, all we're going to simply do is take these 4 screws and just attach them from the top. Now that I have this installed, open this up, you can see the 4 screws are holding that plate in there, and it fits quite nice. In terms of waterproofness, this bag, of course, is not waterproof, but it does come with a waterproof cap. So that will just basically, you've got a kind of a clear plastic part there. So with the water guard on now, you do have the ability to still see the top of your bag in case you have any attachments that SW-Motech has optional for some of their tank bags. So you do have now a waterproof cover over the top of your tank bag. So the bag's installed. I moved the camera a little bit so hopefully you can get a better view of the bag itself. You've got your main section here, and inside here you have a little flap that you can take out, and this is going to let you, adjust if you want to put a separator in there. Don't forget, underneath the bag where the tank ring connector is, there's a little block in there, and that you can see kind of here. So you're going to lose about 3/4 of an inch maybe, on the inside of this bag from the overall thickness here. On both sides of it, we do have 2 pockets, and they flare out here. I got my wallet here. It fits in there quite nicely. So, put some keys, wallets, stuff on the side, no problem at all. On the top flap here, you do have a zipper and a little mesh, and you can actually put wires in there or charging cables. You can even take your phone and slide that right in there, and that's kind of a neat place for it if you're not using your phone a lot, to keep it quick and easy to get to. So the overall size of the bag is pretty decent. I plan on using this bag personally to carry my camera equipment. So the camera I'm recording this on right now, Canon EOS R with a fairly large lens. In fact, this is the honkin' lens that I use typically. Woo! Look at the size of that bad boy. And that actually will fit. So I can put that big lens right in this front area down here and still have all room up in here. So I'll be carrying my GoPro, my actual camera body, maybe a bottle of water, stuff like that. But to give you an illustration, I will use the can test. How many cans can this hold? So we got some sparkling water cans. These are the 355 ml cans, to give you an idea. So I've got 3 of them fit in the top part there, and one down there, and a 7-Up to finish things off. I'm not sponsored by 7-Up or Coke, but if they want to send me a case for free, I'd take it. No problem at all. And just note that there's additional room in the sides. So for instance, this wallet can actually fit in beside these cans because it's actually a little longer than the width of a can. Okay, so maybe cans are not the most accurate way to determine the carrying capacity of a side bag. So why don't I go ahead and give you the actual measurements. So at its widest point, you have about 7 inches wide at the widest part. Again, that's on the inside of the main compartment. On the front piece, you're about 5 inches deep. And of course that tapers down as you go here, it goes to nothing. So in the compartment where you've got the tank ring connector, you've lost some space because of the connector in there, you're safely going to have 3.5 inches height. So you got 3.5 inches height. On either side of it though, it does go back to 5 inches because it kind of drops down. In terms of length, overall, if you took this thing out and you just wanted to have full size here, you are roughly 12 inches long in the main carrier, but if you went all the way down in, you're like 14 inches from the very tip to the very tip here. That's a rough estimate. That's pretty close. Well, that's it for the video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, definitely leave them a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna be doing lots more videos of other things I'm gonna be doing to this bike, as well as actually taking this bike out on the road, doing a couple trips, maybe doing a couple vlogs on it, showing you guys how the things that I've installed are working for me. And yeah, so until next time, guys, hope to catch you in the next video. Have a great day.